On the island of Puerto Rico, part of our sonic memory, part of what we identify with are the natural sounds. It's tropical, it's lush, so we definitely have a lot of vegetation. The sound of the vegetation, the sound of the trees. The ocean brushing up on the sand, caressing the sand, you know, the wind. It definitely also comes to mind. The coqui frog, it's a small toad that sings only at nighttime. A lone coqui, and then another one will respond because it's a mating call. Or if you are lucky, you'll get a whole orchestra, and that's the beautiful thing, because it's like a symphony of like, and you know, all the other like insects. It's quite noisy outside, but it's something that is naturally occurring, and it's something our ears are accustomed to here in Puerto Rico, and that we've been living with since we were born. My name's Jaime Bofil, and I am an ethnomusicologist in the Conservatory of Music. I basically teach music in historical content, music as culture. As musicians, as artists, the driving force behind a lot of these projects is because we want people to know that art can make change. During the nighttime, Hurricane Maria hits Puerto Rico. It's more an auditory experience than it is a visual one. The only thing I was paying attention to was the wind. And also listening to what would happen to our roof. Okay, completely gone. So you were listening towards these things and you sort of got a sonic picture from within your home of what was going on outside. So that natural soundscape, if you want to say, that was completely altered. Definitely the birds and all of this you couldn't hear, and that's very disturbing. At the same time, there's a beauty also about the force that maybe 100-mile-an-hour wind hitting up against your house. It's awing. When Hurricane Maria finally hits the island, people learn that we have to count on our neighbor, we have to count on the community. You can't depend on FEMA. You can't depend on the US government. You can't depend on external things to come bring back the power, water. We have to count on ourselves. Hurricane Maria did not create a lot of the problems that we have here in Puerto Rico. A lot of the problems that we have here in Puerto Rico, as part of our colonial history, are long-standing problems. So I asked myself, are we just going to get back on the same track and do as we had done before, or are we going to try and create a change? Music definitely formed part of how we reinvent ourselves as a community. We started making music in new ways. Based on previous hurricane experiences. There's a famous song from Puerto Rico that's from the beginning of the 20th century called Temporal. It's a plena, temporal, temporal, allá viene el temporal, ¿qué será de Puerto Rico cuando pase el temporal? Alfonso Fuentes, he's one of the most renowned composers of his generation, started improvising temporal to take these sounds and to recreate it again. When Maria had just devastated Puerto Rico, was very moving for everyone who was witnessing what he was doing on the piano. He just has that gift to take something very small and make it something quite vast. That's art. That's music, right?
I live in Trujillo Alto in the mountains because I love the sound of the insect, the coquis and chicharras and everything. After the hurricane, I heard no birds, no nocturnal insect. I also didn't hear el vaivén de las olas because there were no wind. Everything was quiet. So it was very strange not listening to that beautiful sound of the night that I love. After that, I need to express myself because there was a lot of emotion going on in my heart. So I had a little portable batteries piano, and with my headlamp in the night, I was immersed in that emotion to improvise about temporal, this time in relation with Maria.